What's the status of Mr. Mousavi and Mr. Karoubi today? Are there activities of Mr. Karoubi and Mr. Mousavi restricted?
I think that there are two issues that I need to raise here and clarify. I think that in Iran, there's a lot of freedom at very high levels that I'm speaking of, in fact. Now, the gentlemen you speak of were candidates in the last elections, and they did not receive the sufficient votes. Logically, when you don't receive enough votes, you have to at least respect those who were voted into office, and that's what democracy means. They did not show respect to the vote casted by the majority of the people, and they created problems for themselves. But yet they were free to do it. They were free to do it even so.
What problems did they create for themselves?
Well, if you invite people to rise, to clash, to create conflict, what does that mean? To insinuate so that people start killing policemen, do you think that's the right thing to do? Policemen were killed.
But
now, if you encourage that...
It is also said that protesters were tortured and killed in prison.
Allow me. It is, well, yes, when you encourage people to do illegal acts, to clash with the police, say, in the United States, if somebody clashed with the police and killed them, what would be done? Would that person be encouraged to go on doing what they did?
No. I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, they would not be encouraged to do that. No one is encouraged to kill policemen. No one is encouraged, and if, in fact, there is a...
And that's exactly what happened in Iran. But unfortunately, Western media and some authorities in the United States started hooraying them and encouraging what was happening and showed support. Now that too has passed.
But
still, they were free to go on what they were doing, and they have been free. They're still living their daily lives. And here and there might be a problem. And when it does happen, the judiciary will take play of it. They too can go to the judiciary and ask judges to take care of the cases.
So you were saying that Mr.
And remember, the judiciary and the judge is independent of me.
Fair enough. But you were saying that Mr. Mousavi and Mr. Karoubi, they are not being subject to any more investigations, and they can do whatever they want to express their ideas.
You added one word to what I said, actually. I did not say whether there was any investigation done or not. That is not that relates to the judiciary and the judge. If there is a complaint that is filed, it goes through the judicial system, and that's the system that has to respond to it. This has nothing to do with the general political environment in the country. Now, in the country, somebody might file a complaint against me, and it's my duty to go before the judge and respond, because according to our Constitution, all people are equal before the law, and nobody has any rights more than others. But the 2 points that I'd like to raise here are that, first, I am surprised that when American officials who claim to believe in democracy and attack Iraq in the name of democratizing the place and kill hundreds of thousands of people. Hundreds of thousands of people are killed there as a result. When they speak of democracy, are they speaking of the will of a majority or a minority? It seems to me that democracy for these people means their own interests. Whenever their interests serve them, they'll back the minority if they want to. And they call it a democracy. If not, they'll call it undemocratic. In Iran, most people actually voted in the elections and chose who they wanted as the president. And so if you claim to be democratic, you have to back the majority. This is the one issue that I wanted to raise here with you. The second point I'd like to make here is that do you feel that when you restrict things here in the United States, can it be acceptable here but not elsewhere? Say if something were to happen here in the United States, it'll be just fine. But if it were to happen in another country, but not be just fine, the same thing, do you think that's right? Because That speaks of an embedded discrimination of mentality that we want to oppose. Now, there have been people serving in the White House maybe 50 years or so before, or even more recently, but were fired just because of speaking their point of view or their opinion. Now, if this happened in our country, oh my God.